Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel Inspired by Shan. My name is Shanice. Here on my channel it is all about improving your lifestyle and your mindset. So in today's video I will be discussing ways to strengthen your relationships and friendships. So basically this ties in not only with friendships or relationships with your partner, but also like business relationships, any type of relationship that you have in your life that is worth, strengthening and improving on. So like your parents or even your siblings. So yeah, I'm gonna just be sharing some really great tips with you guys just to overall enhance those relationships that you already have, and if they are rocky at the moment, maybe by implementing these tips can ultimately get you where you want to be in the relationship that you are currently in. So without further ado, I will share those tips with you guys right now. So the first tip is probably the most important one, and that is to be honest with the person you're having that relationship with. So it can be so hard to talk to someone and not really find a solution to the problem if you're not being completely honest with each other. So understanding what page you both are on and not judging each other as well, just approaching the problem head on and being just responsible and just acting like an adult and just saying, hey, look, I know that recently a professional relationship, if it's business partner or just our relationship or friendship, has not been on the best of terms. So I really want to come and talk to you about what's been happening and what's on your mind, and hopefully we can come to some sort of agreement as to deciding on how to figure out this problem and solve it once and for all. So really just taking some time aside out of your busy week. As you know, a lot of people are busy. The thing with relationships, they are a touchy subject and it can be sensitive sometimes. So just approaching it in a way that doesn't offend that person too much, but with all the intention to just really solving whatever has been going on. Getting them to sit down with you and just discussing, laying it all on the table and just being brutally honest. Sometimes you have to be, but knowing that you're going to, hopefully for the sake of the relationship, try to solve it the best way you can and as efficient as possible without hurting each other's feelings. And this probably is the hardest part, is being honest without hurting that person's feelings. But in order for the relationship to keep on progressing and getting better, you need to be honest with each other. And really relationships work like that, friendships work like that, business partners, they work like that. You need to be like that. Communication with each other has to be spot on, or otherwise you won't execute as well in future things together, and that is not what your goal should be. Friendship and relationships are about uniting together, but just understanding that at least if you're honest with each other, that you're halfway there to just maintaining a solid relationship that you want to keep on ultimately improving on. Do start taking that initiative and ask them what is the problem so we can sort it out, and just try to be as honest as possible. So my second tip for you guys is to listen to each other in the relationship. So this works with all types of relationships out there, but listening is the key to maintaining a relationship with that person, because they know that they are heard, and that's all what we want. We want that, like every person wants to be heard. And some relationships, some friendships, one person might overpower the other, and in my opinion, I reckon relationships should just be equal. Everyone should have their say, and both people should have their say, and one person shouldn't just be overtaking and talking about themselves too much. And if you are that type of person that does talk way too much in the relationship and you are aware of that, maybe stop and think and go, okay, I'm gonna just stop talking a bit too much and let my friend talk this time, or let my partner talk this time, and I'll hear what they have to say and what's been happening in their life, because sometimes, you know, the other person could be way too polite and be like, okay, I'm going to let the other person talk, do all the talking, and I'm not going to say anything because I want to be really polite and not offend that person. But if you're in a good relationship, you wouldn't have to feel that way, and you know, you have to speak up sometimes. So yeah, just ensuring both sides of the parties are being heard. So this tip kind of moves on to my next tip, which is to not judge. So, you know, in relationships, it sometimes comes naturally, you know, that person in the relationship says something and you will automatically judge whatever they say, whether it's good or bad. So this is human nature, obviously, and you know, you can't help naturally whatever comes in your mind. But what you can control is how you react to it. So if your friend, for example, is telling you a story, what has happened to them recently, and you know, you automatically judge it in your mind, rather than just judging it and reacting to it straight away, maybe just let them just continue the story, tell you the whole story, and then make up your judgment after that, and then give constructive feedback. But however, in saying this, you need to have an open mind. See it where your friend is coming from, because your friend is telling you this to get it off their chest, and you know, to maybe ask for your advice. But if you give advice that is constructive, saying it in a way that will ultimately help them, you know, that's all you can really do, and that's the best option, really. So yeah, just try to be as open-minded as you can, and just be patient with them, listen to the whole story. It will just really ensure that your friend is heard and they can look forward to the advice that you give them afterwards. So my fourth tip is to maintain trust in the relationship. So trust is probably one of the main qualities you look for in all types of relationships. Trust is really the foundation. So if you don't have that, then you know, your relationship is going to go downhill from there. So ensuring that the trust is you're always at the same trust level is a clear sign as to where your relationship is actually heading. And you know, if you feel like you struggle with trusting that person, or that person, that you feel like that person in the relationship doesn't feel like they trust you, then have a talk, be honest, like I said in the first tip, and just talk it through until you solve that trust issue. So moving on to my second last tip, which is prove your loyalty in the relationship. So you know, this can mean not talking about that person behind their back. If you really treasure that friendship, you know, you shouldn't even be thinking of talking about that person behind their back. You know, even if they are pissing you off at the moment, or you know, they're not entirely in your good books, you know, you still need to maintain that loyalty to that friend, or you know, to your partner as well. Like some people, they bitch about their partners behind their back, and you know, that's not a really good quality to have for yourself. And I just believe you need to work on that loyalty if you feel like it's not up to scratch in your current relationships, because loyalty is also another quality that people find in relationships. And trust and loyalty, yeah, they're the top two, I reckon, that just will enhance those relationships. You can really spot the difference between people who possess those two qualities in relationships to those who don't. And yeah, there's a massive difference there. And if you feel like you don't possess two of those qualities, or maybe you don't possess one, you need to work on the other one. Just make sure you do that, and maybe make that a goal for this year in relationships, to improve on that quality, and trust me, your relationships will just skyrocket from there. So my last and final tip is to always have fun in the relationship. So you know, you need to, especially if it's a relationship like a partner relationship, you know, you need to always spice it up. You need to like go on dates, isn't that true? Just to keep the spark, keep the flame going. And friendship wise, you know, you want to have a girls' night every now and then, even if you are busy and you guys both have busy lives. you just need to make time, because everyone that you do treasure in your life, you need to make time for. And you know, work, you make time for work, so make sure you make time for the people that you love, because those people that you hold close to your heart, those are the people that lift you up. Those people are the ones that you want by your side when you're facing the hard times, and they're gonna always be there for you, and letting them know that you will be there for them. So just making sure there's always love around, and there's that energetic feeling, and you know, there's nothing better than having a great laugh, you know, with your friends and with those relationships that you have with your loved ones. So yeah, it's such a great feeling, and you can't beat it, and nothing, you know, all those materialistic things can't beat a good experience you have with a loved one. So I guess that's how I'm going to wrap up today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it and got some insight as to where you may be struggling a bit in your relationships, and if this was an eye-opener, I would love to hear, you know, some of what you guys have to say in the comments below about maybe your relationships at the moment, and how you can totally enhance those relationships by implementing these tips I'm sharing in this video today. So without further ado, I would just like to give my love for you guys who are currently watching, and thank you for watching this video today. And please do, if you can, look at my other videos. I will have my recent one linked down below, and if you do like the content I have here on my channel, please consider subscribing, and go follow me on my Instagram account if you haven't already. So until next time, guys, inspire yourself and continue to inspire others. Okay, bye guys.